We are here because of Awake Africa Ghana mission. Somebody will say, why Awake Africa Ghana mission? When we look at Ghana, when we look at Africa, and we compare ourselves to Europe, and we compare ourselves to Asia, you don't need any scholar to tell you that we are below the belt. In fact, when we were young and we were kids, if your father was not around, you know, when your father is not around, it's not good. Your father is supposed to be around you. Then when somebody is beating you, you run to your father. But if your father was in London or in America and you never saw your father, and the kids knew that your father is in London, you were treated special, because your father has been able to travel abroad even though you don't know him. So those of us who have some uncles in Europe and father we don't even know, you have not seen your father's face, but you've been told your father is in Canada or in America, they pampered us. In fact, ladies will love you because they know you also travel abroad. This is something real. Why? Because even as kids, we knew that when somebody is connected to the other continent, he was a special person and a sort of a superior person. If somebody said my uncle is coming from America and somebody said my uncle is coming from Kumasi, we don't treat the uncle coming from Kumasi the same as the one coming from America, whilst we don't even know what the person in America is doing. Maybe the one in Kumasi works in a bank, the one in America maybe cleans the street or cleans something, but we will respect the Ghanaian who has traveled abroad, who cleans the street, more than the Ghanaian who has gone to school and is working in an office with a good salary. It is something not debatable that we look down on ourselves. And it is not because it is for nothing. It is because we see results from there. It is because when somebody from America gives you $20 or somebody from UK gives you £20 and you convert that money into your currency, you see you are getting richer. So we know that anything from there is superior. And indeed, that is what they also believe, and that is what they also say. And they make it very clear to us that they are superior and we are inferior. Aside this, we see numerous challenges in Africa. We see poverty. We see people die early in Africa. We see people grow old in America and Europe. They live longer. We die early. We are always faced with numerous challenges. If it is marriages, there's higher divorce rate among blacks than among whites. If it is wealth, whites are richer than blacks. If it is enjoyment in this life, almost in every area of life, it is so clear that the people of the other continent are doing far better than the people of this continent. We have come to the point whereby we have accepted all these things, and sometimes we ask ourselves if the God that created the white man is the same God that created the African. Recently I saw on my Joe Online, somebody wrote an article, why God hates Africans, and it hurts me. Does God really hate Africans? Maybe when you have not come to the reality of the gospel, you might think so. Why did I conceive this dream? Because I found out that what I read in the Bible, I see Europe, I see these white people. Then a time came, then I asked myself, so where is Africa in the Bible? I have heard of the Roman Empire. I've heard of Alexander the Great. I've heard of the Grecian Empire. I've heard of the Babylonian. Where is Africa in the scriptures? We see Israel. We see the Americans. We see the Arabs. Where is Africa? I had preached for about 5 years and I came to this consciousness that don't we also even have a place in the scriptures? And when I began to search the scriptures, then I realized that it is the opposite. Before I move on with my point, I will tell you in this group Awake Africa that I can confidently say that the Bible can be called the literature book of the African. We shall expose that in later times. But ladies and gentlemen, why all this suffering? Is the Bible not concerned? Is God not concerned? In fact, we have gone to the point that when you talk about Awake Africa, people become skeptical about you, because those who see themselves as Pan-Africans, many of them don't believe in God. They believe in idols. Many people came with political emancipation only to say that let us promote an African what? Religion, which is not true. I will show to you that if there is any African religion, it is Christianity. Yes. Because we don't even know that the Bible was first written in Africa. We don't even know that the Bible was first written in Africa. That the Bible doctrines we believe in were proposed by Africans. It is maybe some of the theologians who know, but they don't even share to the people at the ground. The Bible theology, communion, Trinity, and all these things that we believe in were propounded by Africans. Then I came to the scripture, Habakkuk 3:7. It said, I saw the tent of the Cushites in affliction. Then I realized that God, through his prophet, had already warned the Africans the future challenges that awaited them if they did not what? Wake up. So he said, I saw the tents of the Cushites in affliction, and the curtains from the land of Media did tremble. Who is a Cushite? A Cushite is an Ethiopian. An Ethiopian is somebody whose face looks like yours. That is the meaning of Ethiopian. It means one whose face is dark. The Median is a tribe from Cush. So this scripture here is talking about the people of dark color, that the prophet of God saw in the future that their tent was in affliction. What is a tent? This building is a tent. Your body that your soul is living is a tent. A tent is something that accommodates. A tent is a place of habitation. A tent is a place of your possession. A tent is a place of your influence. Now the prophet is saying that I saw the habitation of the black people in affliction. I saw the place of the Africans in affliction. So it is no wonder that wherever you see a black community, they are identified with poverty. They are identified with sicknesses. They are identified with the sorrows of life, because their tents are in affliction. Everybody needs a covering. That is why you have a pastor. That is why you say, I have a spiritual father. He's a covering. So for you to succeed in this life, for you to have the glory and the favor in this life to rise to the end, you need a covering. But when your covering is in affliction, then you are bound to face challenges. So Africa is going through challenges, numerous challenges beyond the minds of the academicians, the politicians, the philosophers, and they have tried ways out, and they were not able to solve because they did not know this truth, that spiritually there is something wrong with the tents of the Cushites. How did this happen? This happened because they missed a blessing in the generations of time past. So when we look at the generations of Africa, Africa loses assets. How many of us know that the current land of Israel originally belonged to Africans? When they left Egypt, they said we're going to the land of Canaan. When we say somebody is a Canaanite, it's somebody whose face is dark. They lost that land. Africans built the kingdom called Babylon. They lost that kingdom. That kingdom is what today is called Iraq. India was controlled by Ethiopians and part of China. That is where the Ethiopians, some of the families of the Africans live. They control there, but they have lost all those lands. When you come to this continent that was called Egypt, was also fully controlled by the Africans. But as I speak to you now, the land of Egypt is controlled by Arabs. The land of Libya is controlled by Arabs. The land of Algeria is controlled by Arabs. The land of Morocco is controlled by Arabs. I asked a friend who studied medicine in Morocco and said, so how come they overshadowed us and dispossessed us? He said, man of God, if you come to Morocco, the blacks are still there, but they have been shadowed. So today when you say a Moroccan is coming, you see an Arab. That is land. Let's talk about mineral resources. Africa for many years has not enjoyed her mineral resources. We first lost our gold and riches through what we call barter trade. After barter trade, we lost the great people that could have built the kingdoms of Africa through what we call slave trade. After slave trade, the problem still persisted, and Africa went into what we call colonization. And even after, when they thought that politics is the solution, that when Kwame Nkrumah said that seek ye first the political kingdom of Ghana and we shall acquire all these things, yes, still the Europeans are still enjoying the better part of Africa. We are going through what we call neo-colonization, whereby Newmont, Anglo-Gold Ashanti, Goldfields, and all these rich companies are being controlled by expatriates, and they take the larger portions of the wealth away, and Ghana continue to cry. The sad part of it is that we knock at the doors of these people, and they come and say they are donors to us. How come the African is not able to enjoy what belongs to him? Let us look at professionals. Where are our best footballers? Where are our best doctors? Where are our best professionals, professors? Where are our best engineers? All of them have left the land of Africa, and they are being enjoyed by other continents. Africa is not able to enjoy. Individually, that is what some people are going through. And what is this first problem of Africa? It is what we call disinheritance. When a person is disinherited spiritually, no matter what is yours does not come to you. It appears that the glory is coming, but when the glory is about to manifest, somebody takes it away from you. That has been the story of Africa. But Awake Africa, we are saying that God wants to re-inherit the African people back to their glory. We will explain to you why all those African leaders died miserably. Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, Prempeh the First, Yasantua, all the people that stood for this continent, they ended badly. It is because of disinheritance. When you are disinherited, you cannot fight for the blessing. So when you try it, you end miserably. That is the reason God brought the church to Africa. The church is the first institution that can re-inherit the African people to their glory. And the next institution that can solve the problems of Africa is our academic institution. So when God sent missionaries to preach the gospel, he asked them to build us schools. They built us Prempeh College, they built us Abrigas, they built us in Fanspim, Adisadel, Presby Boys, and all these missionary schools. And as of today, these missionary schools are the best schools in Ghana. It tells you the church has a role to play in the emancipation of Africa. All the schools that were built by governments cannot be compared to the missionary schools. If you look at the world, like Harvard, Oxford, these schools even in America were missionary schools. The African has been brainwashed in the education he received. So the education that we received is not the education that empowers him to solve his or her problem. It's an education that allows him to hire expatriates to solve his or her problem for him. But Awake Africa Ghana Mission, we are saying that the time is now to re-educate ourselves. The time is now to live the glory and the personality and the identity of the African, so that the African will be convicted that he was also created in the image and in the glory of God. And that time is now. And that time is now. Awake Africa Mission, one of our scriptures that we depend on is Psalm 68. Psalm 68 says, princes shall come out of Egypt, and Ethiopia shall soon. Kwame Nkrumah gave a speech when he had graduated from theology and has done other first degrees in Pennsylvania. He gave a speech and entitled, Ethiopia shall stretch her hand unto God. Ladies and gentlemen, the solution of Africa, the way forward of Africa, is not in anything but in stretching forth our hand unto God. And that is where we see the springing of ministries on the continent of Africa. But it is sad that many of these torchbearers, pastors leading these ministries, do not even know the essence of the influence the church is gaining on the continent. And because of that, Africa is still in the position of poverty. We have come to re-educate ourselves once again. And we are saying, as the Bible says, that we are princes. Who is a prince? In our modern time, when we say somebody is a prince, we believe that that prince is a son to a king. And even in that limited definition, that person has influence and that person has honor. So if that is all what it is about Africans, then it means that the African must be people of honor. But people, as far as the Bible is concerned, when the Bible says that somebody is a prince, that the Bible is simply talking about a ruler. The Bible describes the devil as the prince of darkness. It means he is the ruler of darkness. He controls evil. He controls the things that are not good. He is the prince there. The Bible describes Jesus as the Prince of life. It means Jesus is the giver and the controller of life. So when you need life, you must go to the Prince. The Bible describes Jesus as the Prince of peace. It means that I cannot have peace without Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, so if the Bible says that princes shall come out of Egypt, then the Bible is telling you and I that princes, rulers are going to come from this continent, and they are going to have dominion in the affairs of this world. It means that this place of wretchedness is not our place of belonging. This place of suffering and dependency on the West is not our place of belonging. And we are saying the time to awake is now. The time to a place of belonging. The time of a place to have dominion. The time of a place to have influence in the affairs of this life is now. Okyere-Darko saw this, so he gave a story that influenced many people of Bishop's generation when they were young. My father told me. He said a farmer went to the forest and saw an eagle, a baby eagle, and took the eagle and brought it home and mixed the eagle with chickens and began to feed the eagle with the chicken food. And after a while, the eagle had been familiarized with the chickens. Then a naturalist came to visit the farmer and saw the eagle and said, that bird is an eagle, it is not a chicken. The farmer replied, yes, I have tamed it. I give it food of chicken, and it is now a chicken. The naturalist said, no, it is an eagle, it belongs to the sky. He said, well, try it. I have made it a chicken, it will not. So the man took the eagle and lifted it up and said, eagle, you are eagle, you have the heart of eagle, the sky is your place, fly. The eagle looked at the naturalist and fell down and joined the chickens and went to eat with the chickens. Then the man said, I told you, I have tamed it. He said, I will give it a try again. The following day, took the eagle, went to the mountaintop and said, eagle, you are an eagle, you have the heart of eagle, you are not a chicken, the sky is your place. The eagle looked at the sky as if it was about to fly and fell down again. Another time, the naturalist took the eagle again to a high mountain top and said, look at the sun, you are an eagle, the sky is your place. As the eagle looked at the sun, gazed at the sun, gazed at the sun, it began to gain strength, it began to gain momentum, and the eagle began to fly and never return again. He said, my fellow Africans, we are eagles. Men have told us we are chicken, and they've been giving us the food of chicken, but we are no more the chickens. We were created in the image of God. The sky is our place. What is an eagle? An eagle is the king of bird. Eagle is a prince. Okyere-Darko was confirming the scripture. The Africans are princes, but we are now in the bottomless of life, but it is not our place. We may start, we may try, we may fail, just like the eagle fell down, but we must not give up. We may try again, we must not give up.